According to a recent survey, 70% of people wish they had more self-confidence. Oddly enough, I wish I was one of them. Are you? Today, we're going to be talking about how to do just that, how to boost your confidence, 10 ways, 10 tips and tricks. Let's get right to it. We got a lot to cover this morning. Enjoy the show. Let's have a good one today. Financially free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch. So a little one-person trampoline, very I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only just for yourself, but for the people that you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. We have a lot to cover today because we're going to do 10 ways to boost your confidence. So let's do the agenda on the board real quick. How's everyone doing this Monday morning? We got a big week coming up. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to take full advantage, get clarity on what it is that we want. Specifically, we're talking about confidence today. Confidence. And essentially, we're going to go over 10 ways to boost confidence. It's incredible how powerful conviction in what you say translates to how people perceive what you do. So we want to raise this conviction, how we're talking. There's too often, just even yesterday, I was talking to somebody about what it is I do, teaching this class. I was like kind of shy and like didn't want to pull back, and I didn't want to really say that, like, yeah, I'm really helping people. I'm helping them just go from good to great. I'm helping them be better with their families and set goals. And for some reason, I don't want to come off like lovey, just like this guru type crap. And I don't know, it's just this limiting self-talk. And we'll get into the importance of that here shortly. But we're going to use these 10 ways to overcome this so we can just tell people about what it is that we do. If you believe that you provide a good product or service, we need to get it out into the world so we can actually help people. So these 10 ways is going to be the first part. Additionally, I'm going to have some questions for us, just a powerful question or two to really get it going. And then we'll kind of wrap it up with just like some food for thought. On how to handle this week. So just going about the week in general, and then how to hopefully make the most of it. Because it's Monday morning, folks, and we're here to get better. We're here to enjoy ourselves, to have a little more fun today. So let's get right to it. And I had on here this, in the beginning of this, a little bit of for the hook in the beginning of the video, that 70% of people, some just doing some research this morning and over the weekend, getting ready for the shows this week. And one of these stats that I was pulling up was just like 70% of people wish they had more self-confidence. And I'm definitely one of those people, and I want to have more confidence. And I think these 10 ways have just really nailed home. And I've come a long way. We're never going to be, there's probably a good chance we see these people on social media who are so confident, out of their mind confident, and it's a highlight. And we don't even know what's going on in their lives. Are they that confident all the time? Do they just do this all the time? Is it because of the thousands of reps that they put in? What's the secret? So let's go ahead and we'll dive into this and see if you can find a couple of tips and tricks this morning that's going to really help you do just this, boost your self-confidence. So first one, before we get into it, I got to get a little cucumber water before we get going this morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Hopefully pretty good. We have positive self-talk. A lot of confidence gets destroyed, and speaking from personal experience here, I'm sure you can relate as well. Think of a time when you have lacked confidence. And then what was your inner dialogue? What were you saying to yourself? I'm not very good at this. I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just not working out for me. Just all this negative self-talk that comes in. And of course, we feel shy. Of course, we're not confident when we're just berating ourselves. The most important person in your support network is you. Dang. And if the most important person in your support network is saying negative things, coming down on you, saying you're not good enough, saying you suck, saying you're terrible, do you think it's going to equate to some confidence formula, equation, final answer? Probably not. So the first tip on here today is to practice more self-confidence. And a lot of these like feed into each other, which is really good. As you do some of the other tips and tricks, they'll feed into the other ones. So that's why a combination of everything is usually the answer. A little bit of this, a little bit of that to mix up 1 + 1 = 3 type formula. So positive self-talk comes in at number one because this inner dialogue is what we truly live with at all times. You're always going to be with yourself. Human nature is actually pretty lonely if you think about it. Like, you are on your own, you are doing your own thing, and you are the only constant in your environment all the time. So this person, this number one support, needs to be supportive, to be just that, or else confidence is going to have a really hard time shining. We got to believe in ourselves before we can get other people to believe in us. And positive self-talk is a good way to start about this. Okay, number two on the list is preparation. Preparation. It is incredible to me. If you look back at a lot of my morning show episodes, I used to start the show at I've started at every time possible. Not every time possible, but 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 6 a.m. again, 8 a.m. again. And there's certain times, especially when I was doing this live at 5 a.m., I wasn't preparing very well the nights before. So I was like getting up at 4 a.m, scrambling around trying to clean myself, then get on the computer, get something manageable to say, and then go for it. Do you think I had a lot of confidence in what I was saying? Not nearly as much as I do now, I can tell you that. So thinking in your own situation, think of a school project that you had coming up like a month ahead of time, or maybe not a school project, you have an event or a vacation or whatever. Think of the times that you prepared really well and then the times you did not prepare really well. How did it go? Well, probably not very well when we lacked preparation. Preparation, what is that famous quote talking about the separation is in the preparation? So if we can prepare more, say if you have a sales call or a meeting coming up soon, taking 10, 15 minutes to just get ready instead of scrambling at the last minute and getting right in, that should help with confidence. Or maybe if you want to create some type of online content, which you see everyone's doing now for online personal brands, I think it's genius. You just get on here. Maybe you want to do a research. You want to do an episode once a month. You want to do an episode once a week. You want to do some type of video, some type of content. And we'll talk about recording and speaking here in a second. But maybe you just want to prepare something in the notes and then come online. So whatever it is that you aspire to do, maybe we can add a little more preparation this week. What do we need to get ready for? What do we need to knock out of the park? So preparation can go a long way. On to number three is public speaking on the topic. If you really want to get very confident in anything, this has been rocket fuel for myself. And I'm not just talking about on camera, but like in front of live physical human beings is, I think talking on cameras and talking in front of people's, they're both pretty difficult, I suppose. The talking to people's probably harder though. For sure, especially like a larger group of people in a venue you've never been in before, that's a little tougher. So if you want to gain massive amounts of confidence, I highly recommend you finding an outlet or an opportunity to speak on what it is that you do. I work with a lot of real estate agents. I work with a lot of just real estate people in general. I work with a lot of people in the finance and insurance industries. I got a new person who's a doctor who I'm working with. So that's really exciting. Hopefully really trying to break into that field as well. and help doctors just become happier, healthier people. But either way, whatever it is, you have an idea and you're trying to disperse this idea and tell other people about it. Maybe you can host an event. Maybe you can do a webinar. Maybe there's some type of lunch and learn. You'd be surprised at how many companies are just looking, they just need somebody to come talk and do some type of free lunch and learn to help and educate their employees, help them make them better. Maybe you could slide into that position. But if you're looking to gain confidence, there's nothing that drives confidence home like public speaking. So if you really want to get confident on a topic, I highly recommend public speaking. Our next up on the list is setting goals and getting feedback. So if we want to raise confidence, I believe, how do I word this? So I lose confidence when I feel lost. I lose confidence when I feel lost. So, and I feel lost when I'm not tracking what it is that I'm doing. So for example, Sunday evening, going into Monday morning, either or one of those, whatever I feel I'm up to and I want to do. I set some goals for the week. I look at what I did last week. It's just a little bit of management and measuring. So setting some goals and then getting feedback for yourself. We talked about positive self-talk being your number one supporter. And I think we can really have a lot of more positive self-talk when we look at what we've actually done in the last week. So if you just wrote on a list, what do I want to do this week? And then you look at it next week. What did I do? What worked? What didn't? And what now? Amazing framework. My coach makes me write this out literally every week and give it to him. It works really well. So you just write out, what do you want to do this week? And then you ask and 1 week from now, you ask yourself, what went well, what didn't, and what different now? And it's crazy how when we take this observer's approach, like the weight kind of comes off of our shoulders, like, oh yeah, I got that done. I got that done. That felt pretty good. Oh, that was a pain in my butt. I didn't get that done. Now we have something else to work with, some really good feedback. Do we need somebody to help support us? Do we need to hire somebody else to do this work for us? Do we need to just buckle down? Is there a reason? Do we need more training? Do we need more knowledge to get this done? What's in the way? What's going on? What's different now? So just asking along this framework, I think, is really beautiful and very helpful for productivity and smashing those goals. And as we get better, our confidence will naturally go up. Next up is accepting and handling criticism. Accepting and handling criticism. This one is a tough one. You know, a lot of that. I mean, there's two versions of the critic that I think is worth talking about this morning, this beautiful Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Is one, we have the outside critics. So for this morning show, I talk to other people who just random people. And I say, hey, have you watched the show? Have you checked it out? What are some things you like? What do you think are some things I could improve on? A lot of times people are generally too nice to me to like really give me some feedback. But every now and again, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm not really hooked in the beginning of the show. Oh, I think maybe if you put in some more statistics or some more questions, or maybe if you had this is a very recent one. I had someone who asked me, hey, do you have any downloadable stuff from the show that I could have, or any gifts or anything that you give away in the show? And I'm like, oh, I don't do that. That's kind of a cool idea. So just reaching out, trying to get some criticism, trying to get some feedback, or if you get criticized, thinking of it as an opportunity and not a shot at your ego, right? This is something that I've struggled with in the past. I'm sure most people do. No one likes to be told that you suck, you're bad, this isn't good enough. Of course, right? But we also, if we can remember that doesn't matter, I don't care. What's really important is me making this really good. And if no one gave you any criticism, then we probably wouldn't be super motivated to make the necessary changes to become the best version of ourselves. So that's outside criticism. The other side of criticism would be the inner critic. So this inner critic is the person I keep coming back to this positive self-talk because it is really that important. But positive self-talk, The negative self-talk is the inner critic coming in there like, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That sucked. That sucked. And there is a need for this. It's just there needs to be a filter so it doesn't like emotionally destroy us, right? Like we want to look at our work and we want to improve it, but we don't have to dismantle it and say like, wow, we suck. This is total trash versus, okay, if from an observer's point of view, how can I improve this? What is one thing I can do to improve myself today? What is one thing? If you're sitting back and you're thinking about this morning, kind of writing out in your journal, maybe, what is one thing I can do today to maybe improve this product or service that I'm trying to sell? And see if that could help some of your confidence. Just the clarity, the C in clarity maybe could possibly stand for confidence this morning. So let's go to our next one, deepen your knowledge. We want to, from the title above and what we're talking about this morning, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about how to boost your confidence. And how to boost your confidence is to deepen your knowledge. If you want to boost confidence, learn more about it. It's literally impossible to know everything about a certain desire, passion, goal, whatever you're trying to pursue, right? Maybe you're trying to sell a lot of houses. Maybe you're trying to sell a lot of insurance policies. Maybe you're trying to just get a lot of people to take your class. Maybe you're a coach. You want to get a lot of clients. Either way, there's no way that we can ever learn so much, say in my example about personal development and coaching and making people better people. I couldn't learn that in a lifetime, even if I tried my absolute hardest. But what I can say is that the more I learn about it, the more confident I'm going to become. Think of anything that you know a lot about, and then think of something you don't know shit about. What are you more confident in? The stuff that you have a lot of knowledge in. What's your knowledge base? So if we were to draw a big circle and we said, all right, percentage here, percentage here, percentage here, where your knowledge base is at, where are you the most confident? Probably the biggest percentage in your knowledge base. So if we can continue to improve, maybe this motivates us to read an extra article this morning. Maybe this motivates us to go order a book that's on our field. Maybe this motivates us to go find a mentor or talk to somebody who can help us deepen our knowledge. And deepening our knowledge is a direct correlation to improving our confidence. Next up is body language. So all the time, for example, the other day, I was talking to somebody like I was referencing earlier in the show. My body language was pretty poor. And this says a lot about how confident I am to the other person, how confident I am. And body language is really important. So if you want to be more confident, learning how proper body language, just good posture actually goes a long way with confidence. Some people might think you got like a pole stuck up your butt, but you're keeping it shows good confidence, and it shows that like you're just a healthy person, right? Good posture is good. And yeah, some people think, oh, I don't want to look weird or whatever. It's like, do you want a bad back? Do you want to look like slouchy, unhappy, unconfident? And at the end of the day, nobody really cares, right? So they got their own stuff to worry about. The best thing that we can do is when we need to be embraced, when we are in the public eye or just in general, we want to keep our bodies happy and healthy. And I think body language is a really something just worth noting this morning that we wanted to talk about. So improving our body language, maybe you want to look up a video on how to improve your posture. Maybe you just want to improve your body language as you're going through the day. There's positive body language, right? I mean, we can see it. You know that person who has really negative body language, and then you know the people who you love the most who have that positive body language and how attractive it is to be on the positive side of that spectrum. So maybe this morning we just have a friendly reminder of improving our body language. It's a third of communication. Communication is so much more than just words. Next up is recording yourself. So say if you're like, Tanner, I do not want to talk online. I do not want to go live. I do not want to give a public speech. It's like, okay, fine. I hear you loud and clear. Maybe that smartphone can start doing something for you other than just bringing you a bill. Maybe you can record yourself about this bullshit that's going on in your head about, oh, I'm not good enough in this. I'm not good enough in that. Maybe we can just lay it on the line and say, what am I trying to work on? Say what you want to say with confidence and give some reps on it. Yeah, it's going to feel kind of weird at first, but yeah, nobody's good at anything they don't do all the time. This is something I struggled with really, really badly. Is I expect to be a rock star on the third try. You ever see those stats on how many shots Michael Jordan missed in his career? He's considered the greatest of all time, one of the most confident men to ever walk the earth. Yeah. Well, he did the basics and the fundamentals. So if we can do the basics and fundamentals, and if we're a little more gun shy about it, we don't want to just plummet into the online world. If there's a topic, if there's something that you got to say, you want to say, record yourself on your phone. Just record yourself a couple dozen times, review it, get some feedback, make some adjustments, and then bam, do it again, because nobody's good at anything they don't do all the time. So recording yourself, I think, is a good little trick and hack to just be more confident on what it is we're selling, what it is we're doing. And that usually leads into more online content and other things that are great for gaining attention, and attention is money. Okay, next up is we have stepping out of your comfort zone. So any of these things that make you uncomfortable, good. That is, if we are uncomfortable, that is where growth lies. That is where we want to grow. If we want to grow, if we want to be better people, if we want to be more skilled, if we want to be more confident, we need to step out of the comfort zone. It's so easy to and I've gotten very comfortable behind the camera, but my skills in talking with people face to face have really diminished since the whole COVID thing, really, honestly. Before COVID, I was going into every single event. I was also living in Chicago, and now I live in a small town, and it's a lot harder for me to connect here or be motivated to connect. And this is something I'm trying to improve on and work on. And so stepping out of my comfort zone, getting back into these events, these public spheres, let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. Let's go ahead. So this is an event I was recently invited to. My graphic designer is going to be talking at it. So shout out to Megan over there with Megan Nee Design and Marketing. She's great. And they're also doing some community animal care effort, which is going to be pretty cool. But it's in November, and that's something I want to do. Maybe just looking up on meetup.com is a great one, where you can just search events. Maybe you want to go to a public event. Maybe you just want to get out there. You want to shake hands, kiss babies type deal, and see if that can be really helpful for you. But that's one way that I'm going to step out of my own comfort zone, is just going to more events, getting in front of people, because that makes me uncomfortable. And that is where growth lies. That's where the growth is. That's where the confidence is sitting, right there, right for us for the taking. So think in your own situation. Maybe it's making videos. Maybe it's recording yourself on the phone. Maybe it's going live on social media. Maybe it's making sales calls. Whatever it is that makes you uncomfortable, maybe this is a chance for us to lean into it just a little bit. I'm not saying dive in and drown yourself, but just go to one event, make a couple calls, record one video, just one thing at a time, right? So, and we'll see. And then ask yourself, was that as bad as I thought? Probably not. Go figure, right? The next one we have on here, lastly, number 10. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. It's been a fun one so far. We've gotten a lot of one, is creating a support system. Who do you know who you can talk to about what do you want to talk about? Maybe you have a life coach. Maybe you want to talk to Tanner. You want to work with me. Maybe you have a business coach. Maybe you have a mentor. Maybe you have some friends. Maybe you have some family members. Maybe you have some coworkers. Maybe you have some clients. Who can we talk to and create a support system with to help boost your confidence? You'll be blown away with how far you can go if you just practice this stuff in front of a couple people. Shoot. Like I've practiced I've talked about like my ideas for the show, like to my mom, to my girlfriend, to my best friends, to my coaches, like everybody who's willing to listen. I'm just spewing out these ideas, talking about, I think this is really cool. I'm trying to work on it. Oh, this is working out pretty good too. And that support system has really helped create my confidence as well. So Maybe you just need a stronger support system around you. If you're having a hard time with that, I know that can be very difficult in different environments and this and that. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can always go to talktotanner.com and schedule a free call, and we can talk about whatever you want. Okay. The last question I wanted to leave here before we get out of here today, I'm over time, but I've just been having so much fun lately on this show that I can't get off the camera, is I want you to answer this question this morning. What is one thing that you love about yourself? What is one thing that you love about yourself? I was heartbroken. I was talking to one of my clients recently, and they said nothing. Like, what? Not one thing. You don't love one thing about yourself. No, nothing. Do you think it's going to be hard to be confident if there's not a single thing that you love about yourself? The answer to that question is yes. So take the time. I know that we want to be humble. Nothing wrong with that. Humility is awesome. But practice, reassurance, and evidence. Humans need this stuff in order to be confident. So maybe this can help with your confidence. I know this has really helped my confidence. One thing I love about myself is that I'm willing to be vulnerable and I'm willing to put myself out there. And do you think that helps my confidence on the next morning show? Yeah, hell yeah. So what is one thing that you love about yourself? Write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down in a notebook. Type it out on a computer. Send it to me. Go to talktotanner.com and set up a call. Let's talk about you for a moment. It's about time we focus on you just a little bit. Let's go to school on you for you. That's all I have for today. Is we wanted to wrap up with this one thing that you love about yourself. So quick little loop to gun through this real quick. So we talked about 10 ways on how to boost your confidence: positive self-talk, preparation, public speaking, set some goals, get some feedback, handling and accepting criticism, deepen your knowledge, body language is important, record yourself on a phone, step out of your comfort zone, maybe going to an event, create a support system around you, and don't forget the powerful question of what is one thing that you love about yourself. Don't be scared to answer that one. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in this morning. Had a blast. And I will be back here live, don't you forget it, with episode 383 tomorrow. This was episode 382. I know I forgot to put in one of my banners, but we'll be back here live again, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow with another episode of Talk Tanner Morning Show. Until then, you guys have an incredible, incredible Monday. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Let's raise our confidence a little bit today. Let's get out there. Let's get some stuff done. It's going to be a good one. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Cheers, friends. Peace.